get a moniker of being like a diva, which I never felt I deserved, which I don't deserve.
The A-list everything in her mind celebrity was shopping in NYC and told a salesperson to stop looking at her and to turn the other way. And this is allegedly J-Lo.
Apparently she has this rule that if she's like out amongst us peasants, we're not allowed to look her in the eye.
One thing you can always trust in, oh God, family.
We do our best. We do try our best.
You don't need to worry about Ben. Let me just tell you.
That they were seen in public together in, more than a month.
Yeah, 47 days.
47 days. The flowers were not for Ben, but they both showed up with flowers. They went to go see one of Ben's kids was starring in a play last night, a school play, and Jen was there as well with Emmy, and they all went in together as a family, and they went and saw the play, and then afterward, Ben drove Jen and Emmy home to Beverly Hills.
Okay, we're not doing that. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you.
You know better than that.
Come on, don't come in here with that energy, please. Doesn't, I feel like, actually get mentioned enough. If I could just end on one thing, is that Jen is a producer on this movie, and the reason why I'm here and the reason why Sterling was in this beautiful movie is because Jen cares, and Jen cares about things like representation and diversity, and she's a boss, and she's an incredible creative and an icon, and that's what I think we should celebrate her for today.
Well, that was quick. Apparently, Ben and Jen are already on the outs again, after less than 2 years of marriage.
Love in some ways, but then they realized there was difficulty, and maybe, they've grown apart. They're two completely different people.
And this is like their one public outing in weeks, because he didn't even come support her at the Met Gala when she was a co-chair. So like, obviously this was planned, and it's just so fun.
Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are reportedly selling their home amid breakup rumors. According to multiple outlets, the couple's Beverly Hills home, which they bought together back in May of 2023 for $60.8 million, has been quietly placed on the market.
Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are clearly in a rough patch in their marriage of, less than 2 years at this point, because we know they are living in separate households right now.
I got back together, it was just like, I want to make music again. I want to get back in the studio. I was very, very inspired. And when I think about, I was like, the same way This Is Me then captured that moment in time without me realizing it. The first time we kind of fell in love, I wanted to capture this moment in time.
And now it's J-Lo and Ben in You've Got Mail. Subject line, yo girl, remember me?
So Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez didn't just suddenly start hanging out together 2 weeks ago. He started reaching out to her in February, sending her emails.
I've always, for better or for worse, have followed my heart and my instincts, and this is where it brought me to.
Why are people always worried about what face Ben has on? Like if Ben walks out the house and he's like,
all right on the street is the Bronx doesn't even fuck with this one. You can't come back to your hood, huh? What Dirk say?
What's something else that real New Yorkers say?
You!
Diva, I'm rich and you're broke attitude. Let's be real here, homegirl.
Work hard. That I put in harder work than everybody else. I work harder and harder and harder and harder. And when everybody's sleeping, I'm doing more.
Like this, it reminds me like when I was 16 in the Bronx, running up and down the...
Okay. I truly have left this woman alone for years. I have just been annoyed in silence since high school. And guess what? I'm a Puerto Rican woman from the Bronx who went to the same high school as you, and you're lying. I saw your high school photo. You did not have hair like that, and we also both attended an all-girls Catholic high school in an Irish and Italian neighborhood, so you weren't running up and down the block. You know damn well you were sitting next to Megan Farley and Christine Marchetti in class. Why are you lying? Please stop using us to look human. We are sick of you. You don't do shit for us. Keep our names out of your mouth. We're not running up and down the block. Not all of us do that for kicks. You're stupid. Stop using us to look human. Stop using us to look relatable. We don't like you.
a flying fuck about celebrity culture, especially when you see just how hard she's trying to be relatable. Like, how many times is this girl gonna mention the block, but then whenever she goes and visits said block, nobody recognizes her or claims her as one of their own?
Said, "What can I get you to drink?" But Jennifer refused to even acknowledge me. She turned her head away and told her personal assistant, "Please tell him I'd like a Diet Coke and lime." She wouldn't even look at me. It was sad. She seemed so sweet in her movies.
The only reason why you were famous is because of the role you played as Selena, which came out very shortly after she passed away, which of course made your career skyrocket. And for some reason, her playing the role of an actually talented singer must have gotten to her head, and she then believed that she could also sing, when in reality, she's not that good. You guys ever see that clip of her SNL performance before they dubbed it with auto-tune? The shit sounded like a dying feral cat. So
I don't know. I have a problem when someone copies my look exactly and they're not even a real singer.
Sorry. Okay. Are you guys good?
Bothers me. I don't know why.
This with a grain of salt. It's just a report, but this is what's being reported. So basically, the reports are like Jennifer Lopez and Ben, they're in a rough situation right now. A lot of people think that they're divorcing or breaking up and it's not going to work out. Well, guess what? Now there's a bunch of speculation that Jennifer Lopez and her ex, Alex Rodriguez, might be getting back together. An alleged friend of Jennifer Lopez told Daily Mail he was always her best match. I don't think cheating is a deal breaker for her anymore. I think she won't announce a split until she has someone else lined up. I guess like another friend or whatever said they were matched in terms of the lifestyle, the looks, the grooming, the private jets, and all the rest of it. They were great together. They were a good match. And then they said we would not be surprised if her and Alex got back together again. It was a long-term relationship and their families got really close. They were blended. So pretty much allegedly, right, Jennifer Lopez's close friends, and you know, close friends means they know her, you know what I'm saying? Not no paparazzi camera BS, like they know this woman. And they're allegedly saying that they think her and her ex, Alex Rodriguez, are gonna come back.
Jen has been scrambling. She doesn't know what to do. People saying she feels humiliated. She feels betrayed. We have more information on why Ben is actually pulling the plug, and it might have something to do with what his doctor said, but that's a different video. Jen feels humiliated. Jen does the thing she wants to do best. What is that? Whenever to get over someone, sometimes she gets under someone, baby. Get it how you live it. However, Jen loves to circle the block, and many people are saying that while she is crumbling, she really wants that old thing back. They're saying J-Lo wants to be friends again with A-Rod. She wants that old thing back. Unfortunately, and this is after she found out that Michael Bloomberg agrees to join Mark and Alec Rodriguez's ownership group. He literally now owns part of the Mets. He's doing all this stuff. Let's not forget Alex Rodriguez is the one that invested in J-Lo Beauty. He's the one that did the concept, helped her with the concept for DeLola Liquor, all this stuff. He got her to perform at the inauguration. He got her the Super Bowl performance. Alex Rodriguez, even though he was a cheater, poured into Jennifer, unlike Ben, who only takes from her and only makes a fool of her. Okay. Even Michael Bloomberg is joining Rodriguez and his business partner, the prospective Minnesota Timberwolves ownership group of Mark Lore and Alex Rodriguez. He's even part owner of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Listen, he's about to make a big come up. J-Lo sees that. She wants part of the shine, and she thinks being on Alex's arm again will completely silence any of the naysayers, the criticism, or even the people just laughing at what happened with her and Ben. However, according to In Touch, they said Alex Rodriguez is loving the Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck marriage drama. He has resentment toward her. Now, before we get into that, let me tell you what I think this resentment is. Now, here's the thing. I can't really blame J-Lo for leaving Alex Rodriguez. By all reports, it looked like he was cheating on her with D-list reality stars while they're in the house in the pandemic and doing all this stuff. But I will say this, Alex Rodriguez never said J-Lo was too much. They had shared culture. He celebrated her. He wanted her to be bigger and bigger and bigger. On top of that, Alex Rodriguez was super tight to J-Lo's kids. And J-Lo was saying she loved this girls and being super mom and super tight. even though Alex was cheating, and I understand that, the way J-Lo not only ghosted Alex, but ghosted his girls too, J-Lo cut off all contact with those girls. They had lived together during the pandemic. J-Lo's kids and A-Rod's daughters were super tight. She cut all contact off. I think at one point they said the only contact they ever had is she either posted happy birthday on social media or sent them an email saying happy birthday. And that's it. And that was somebody telling you, acting like they was like your mom and I love you and family. To the point of when when J-Lo broke up with Alex, J-Lo's kids were begging her, according to reports, to get back with Alex. I'm not saying she should have gotten back because no one deserves to be cheated on. I am saying, look at that and look at the difference of the way Ben Affleck treats Jen. Look at the way even Ben Affleck treats Jen's kids. Now, I know Jen put that happy Father's Day post, but you got to remember, even when all the stuff about Ben divorcing, all he's talking about is what's right for his children. J-Lo is still showing up at recitals, being there with Samuel, doing this, doing that. Anyway, get this. Alex Rodriguez was left in pieces when J-Lo dumped him like a hot potato for Ben Affleck. So he's understandably getting a thrill over the fact that they've now crashed and burned in less than 2 years. And remember when Alex was begging J-Lo to come back? Again, he cheated though. And I'm sure that shows you're just a big cheater. Alex fell apart when J-Lo ran off with Ben. He felt like she tossed him out with the trash when she got a better offer from Ben, and it did a huge number on him. He went from planning a wedding to watching her marry someone else in what felt like the blink of an eye. It was the worst year of his life, and to make things 10 times worse, J-Lo didn't have an ounce of empathy for him. She flaunted her romance with Ben every chance she got. She also cut off his girls. Now, J-Lo and A-Rod began dating in the beginning of 2017, got engaged 2 years later. However, by April 2021, they called off the engagement. She was photographed spending time with Ben shortly after the news of the breakup was confirmed. I will say also this about Ben, and y'all know I don't got nothing nice to say about Ben. Jen doesn't even realize the ego move that Ben did, because it wasn't just about being with J-Lo. It was about taking Alex Rodriguez's girl. The Bennifer reunion was years in the making, as the two had previously been engaged in early 2000s. Ben dumped her for the same reasons, got sick of her, used every excuse. He felt embarrassed by Jen. They tied the night in July. So she left Alex April 2021. She got married to Ben just a year later. Mind you, Ben tried to call off the wedding, but she ended up eloping with him in Vegas. And then he got an attitude during the honeymoon and left early.
Jennifer Lopez, renowned for her versatile talents in music, film, and dance, frequently finds herself embroiled in controversy over her conduct and demeanor, despite her immense success. Lopez has often been labeled a diva, a characterization she vehemently disputes, attributing it to media misrepresentation. This label is often linked to allegations of high-maintenance demands and stories of entitlement, such as her supposed preferences for luxury items like speedboats and extravagant floral arrangements. There are also accusations of dismissive behavior towards service industry workers, further contributing to the public's perception of her as demanding and difficult. Similar narratives extend to her personal relationships, including rumors of stringent expectations she reportedly imposed on her former partner, Alex Rodriguez. These stories depict her as someone who maintains tight control over her personal life, reinforcing her diva reputation. Lopez's interactions with other celebrities have also drawn scrutiny. She has faced criticism for alleged disparaging remarks about fellow actresses like Gwyneth Paltrow, Winona Ryder, and Cameron Diaz. One notable incident involved Lopez questioning Paltrow's Hollywood achievements, suggesting they were more about personal connections than professional merit. Her straightforward critiques, such as expressing disinterest in certain writers' work, have further fueled perceptions that she can be blunt and uncompromising. Overall, while Jennifer Lopez is celebrated for her talents, these controversies have shaped a narrative that portrays her as a figure who navigates fame with exacting standards and occasional friction, despite her impressive career accomplishments. These incidents underscore the intricate interplay between celebrity culture and media portrayal. Jennifer Lopez contends that these characterizations are unjust and fueled by sensationalized media coverage. Nevertheless, the persistence of these stories shapes public perception, prompting reflection on the blurred boundary between a celebrity's authentic self and the persona crafted by media and public discourse.
However, In Touch Exclusive reported that in May, the couple was headed for a divorce, with the Oscar winner having already moved out of their shared home. Now, I reported at first that they were headed for divorce, but who cares, right? In Touch did leak that he had moved out of the house. To see Jen getting some of the karma for her actions is pretty sweet, even if A-Rod wouldn't admit that publicly. His friends all know he's been waiting for things with her and Ben to crash and burn. The former professional baseball star has moved on to Jacqueline Cordero. He's probably cheating on her too, whom he started dating in October 2022. The insider says he's beyond happy in his new relationship and doesn't want J-Lo back. Do you believe that? I believe that he has a huge ego and he'll never take her back. But I don't know about him not wanting J-Lo back. I actually think that he really, really liked J-Lo. But he feels like he dodged a bullet by not marrying J-Lo. That doesn't mean he's not going to enjoy watching this train wreck. He still harbors a lot of resentment towards J-Lo and feels more than justified in it. Since reports of trouble in Ben and Jen's marriage first surfaced, the two have been putting on a united front publicly. However, their outings together have all been at events for their children. No, strike that, for Ben's children. I haven't seen him go anywhere with for J-Lo's kids. Ben was not by Jen's side at the Met Gala or the premiere for her movie Atlas in May. You guys, listen. What y'all think about this? I will say one thing. I do honestly feel like I understand what A-Rod's feeling, even though A-Rod, the reason she left you is because you couldn't keep your rod where it belongs. But this is it. But when you look at people that poured into you, I look like outside of the cheating, of course. And I know you can't separate that because that's why J-Lo left. That's the way a man that loves you and cares about you, that's what they do. They invest in you. They actually like the way you are. You're not too much. You're not flamboyant. You're never embarrassed. After her Super Bowl performance and that J-Lo documentary about the Super Bowl, A-Rod stood by her side proudly, said, "This is my woman. Y'all can talk all y'all want." That's the type of man anybody needs. It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks you are. The person's with you should be like thankful that they get to walk on the ground that you walk. That's real love. And Ben, like we've been saying a lot, has never felt that way about J-Lo.
All I know is their breakup was messy AF. It was all over the news, the gossip sites. You couldn't escape it. And considering how public their relationship was from the jump, you know it had to be hard for them to go through all that drama with the whole world watching. But that's the price of fame, I guess. When you're a celebrity couple, your business is everybody's business. And J-Lo and Air were no exception. Their relationship was like a real-life telenovela with all the highs and lows playing out in the spotlight. So now that we got the background on their romance, you're probably wondering what led to this big confrontation between them. Well, honey, buckle up because the tea is about to be spilled.
Who was it? A-Rod saying he's sitting there watching popcorn and this divorce, eating popcorn, watching your divorce, thinking it's your karma. Y'all, Mark Anthony has chimed in. And baby, he don't got nothing nice to say to Jennifer Lopez either. I will say one thing. Jennifer, her little movie Atlas, yes, I watched it. It was laughably bad, but it had a point. Her searching for love. When is Jennifer Lopez going to realize that Ben Affleck is the weakest link? Ben Affleck was sent to destroy her. I don't know what demons he got going on, but baby, they keep leaking into your life. Mark Anthony has actually spoken out, and they are saying that Mark Anthony is hoping that him and Jennifer Lopez can get back to where they were when she was with Alex Rodriguez. Y'all, listen, if you guys don't know, I've always talked about this. Jen was with Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez, Mark Anthony, and J-Lo were all happily co-parenting. As a matter of fact, Alex Rodriguez's daughters were so in love with Jen. They looked at her as a second mother. It was a lot. We'll talk about that in a minute. But more importantly, maybe because it's all shared culture, Mark liked and respected A-Rod, and he gave them their blessing to get married. Mark Anthony was also very, very, very involved in their child's life. All of a sudden, she got with Ben Affleck. As a matter of fact, even before Ben, she would do Father's Day posts for Mark Anthony. and for A-Rod because they were all co-parenting. Ben got involved. People are saying that he didn't want J-Lo around Mark Anthony. Maybe she felt threatened. I don't know, right? Felt insecure. I don't know. Jennifer then moved away. She broke up with what's his name? With A-Rod in 2021. She was married by 2022, not even a year. She upped and moved across town, literally ghosted A-Rod's daughters that looked at her as a second mother. She admitted this in interviews, but also she did a weird thing where in order to honor Ben for Father's Day, she kept Mark Anthony completely out of the Father's Day posts. She looked at it as like, these are my kids. I have them more. If you guys don't know, Mark Anthony's new wife and mother of his youngest child wanted there to be court or supervised visits so that all the kids could at least know each other over the summer and they would know who their siblings were. JLo didn't want that. She moved them back out to be with Ben. I will say one thing. How ridiculous is it that Mark Anthony, who was like this with A-Rod, and again, A-Rod did cheat, so I'm not saying J-Lo should have stayed with him, but it's really cold and almost narcissistic the way she decided to completely cut the girls out of her life that she had been like a second mother for like the last 3 or 4 years. That was really, really cold-blooded. Anyway, they're saying Mark Anthony is speaking out too and saying that J-Lo is getting what she deserves because you literally tried to make Ben your everything. And Mark don't care about that. He's already married. But why did you push me out of my kid's life and disrespect me on Father's Day and not even mention me and say that Ben was the best father to our kids? When at the end of the day, Ben's leaving her and he's not involved in the kids' stuff at all. It looks like we see Jen popping up for Ben Affleck's kids, the graduations, the recitals, the plays. But where is Ben showing up for Max and Emmy? Where is Ben showing up for Jennifer Lopez's kids? She moved them across the world away from A-Rod and his daughters that they looked at as like sisters. And because J-Lo ghosted them, the kids weren't really allowed to be around there either, okay? Then you have the way you pulled the kids away from their father. Now, I don't know, maybe Mark Anthony is not an involved father, but judging by the way his new wife was arguing that the kids should be mandated to see, it leads me to believe that he was an actual good father. Let's also not forget all these stories about A-Rod back then still wanting to get back together with J-Lo, but for her, it's over. Again, Mark Anthony and A-Rod are like laughing at Jen and really thinking this is her karma because she put her love story and her love for Ben and all the promises that he promised her ahead of everything, in my opinion, even ahead of what would have been best for her family, which is to stay in Miami. But we know Ben was not doing this. Again, Ben's always looked at J-Lo as an option. But listen to this old story, because this is from April 28th of 2021, and it tells a lot of stuff. They're saying that they parted ways, but A-Rod is having a hard time letting go. Now, one of the reasons that J-Lo was publicly humiliating A-Rod back then about, oh, he just won't let me go, is because she was trying to let Ben know the coast is clear. You're a better father than Mark Anthony. And I don't even care about, so she was letting him know the coast was clear so he would come forward. Anyway, they're saying that since ending her engagement over long simmering trust issues, she's very strong and will continue to follow her heart. Of course, losing someone like J-Lo would never be easy, and the source said Alex seems to have a harder time letting go. He still wants to get back with J-Lo, but to her, the relationship is over. And again, I can't fault her. I would leave a man that was cheating on me too. If you cheated once, you're going to cheat again. I know people are like, no, give the person a second chance. And if you want to, that's fine. But for some people, it's like our suspicion, our anger, our like hurt feelings, they never go away. I would never fault anybody for not staying in a relationship with a cheater, especially a millionaire superstar wannabe singer, but good dancer. Okay.
And like being kissy and cute and lovey. And this year it's just, hey, Ben, you're handsome. You know what I mean? It's just,
and it was like a stock photo of
it's
movie.
clear the romance is gone, right? I mean, like, if you're gonna
Yeah.
be that sexy and sweet and fun and flirty only 12 months ago, and now 12 months later, your thing is our hero, you know? Like, I don't necessarily read into who he's hanging with more, right? Because you said
Right.
him and Jem Garner have kids, and
Yeah, they have like a good
yeah, and they're
relationship.
always seen at sporting events or events, right, with the
The
kids and stuff. So
kids, yeah.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. But to me, the Instagram post says it all. And again, where are we in this? Do we still think that they're trying to work this out, or
No, we're being told that divorce is all but certain,
right.
a little chance of reconciliation. And actually, we have a whole documentary on this that will kind of break everything down. You can watch it. It's called TMZ Investigates J-Lo and Ben Missed Warning Signs on Hulu. And we actually posted a clip from the documentary today where I believe it's a psychologist said that, or a psychiatrist, sorry, said that J-Lo is addicted to love, which sounds like ridiculous, but is definitely a thing.
You could see it though, right? I mean, I guess the whole premise is that she never really has downtime in between relationships.
Right.
It's
She
just
like
one to another.
exactly. She like clearly hops from one person to another. But it's not like, oh, you're dating a lot of people, which yes, she's done. It's like she's on her
Serious.
fourth marriage.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like she's J-Lo. Like she has so many options. So maybe that's why she has so many love interests. Like the everyday girl probably is not getting those opportunities.
Well, and it's tough too. Like when you're that famous, it's hard to find real love, right? I mean,
Yeah,
so
that
when,
too.
So when you find like A-Rod, who's in your position, you know what I mean, very very famous and struggles to find love, and Ben Affleck similar, right? Very very famous, and he can't meet a normie like us, or you know, where it's like,
Right.
you know, how do they really love me? Whereas you meet somebody like J-Lo, and I know that she really loves me because you know we're in the same boat, right? I know she loves
Yes.
me for me, or she in theory loves me for me.
But also, when you're dating a celebrity, they kind of have like this act that they put on in a way.
Sure.
So you don't know, are you dating like a real person, or are they just kind of like filling the role of like an actor, or kind of being fake or ingenuine? So there's like a lot of like funneling through that as well.
So where does she go from here now? I mean, it's clear, like it's over, right? Like it's a Father's Day
It's for
post,
sure
and then
over.
him spending
They
time
do
with
have
Jen
a
Garner.
prenup, so at least there's that.
Are we shocked, or what? How are we supposed to feel about this? You
I
know what I mean?
know.
Like,
I mean, in general, I think I'm sad because you always want to see like your old
Right.
love like come back in your life, and it
Right.
works out, and it's the fairy tale and all of that. But clearly, that's not reality.
Jennifer Lopez, renowned for her versatile talents in music, film, and dance, frequently finds herself embroiled in controversy over her conduct and demeanor, despite her immense success. Lopez has often been labeled a diva, a characterization she vehemently disputes, attributing it to media misrepresentation. This label is often linked to allegations of high-maintenance demands and stories of entitlement, such as her supposed preferences for luxury items like speedboats and extravagant floral arrangements. There are also accusations of dismissive behavior towards service industry workers, further contributing to the public's perception of her as demanding and difficult. Similar narratives extend to her personal relationships, including rumors of stringent expectations she reportedly imposed on her former partner, Alex Rodriguez. These stories depict her as someone who maintains tight control over her personal life, reinforcing her diva reputation. Lopez's interactions with other celebrities have also drawn scrutiny. She has faced criticism for alleged disparaging remarks about fellow actresses like Gwyneth Paltrow, Winona Ryder, and Cameron Diaz. One notable incident involved Lopez questioning Paltrow's Hollywood achievements, suggesting they were more about personal connections than professional merit. Her straightforward critiques, such as expressing disinterest in certain writers' work, have further fueled perceptions that she can be blunt and uncompromising.
It's plucking from the past,
Right.
so we got to just go back in the history.
Yeah.
Moving on to another former relationship. Joe Alwyn is breaking his silence on the split with Taylor Swift. Remember, they were together for years. He called it a long, loving, and fully committed, that's a key word right there, keywords, relationship. So he's speaking out for the first time. We know that they broke up, and she was on tour at the time that the news got announced. And he said to the Sunday Times that he didn't really have time to fully take in the split because it was just a week after they had actually split that the news came out.
Okay.
But he said that His time with Taylor was long, loving, fully committed, which I don't know if you remember, there was some like cheating allegations.
On his end?
I believe so.
Okay.
And so saying fully committed is pretty interesting. And if you listen to her latest album, The Tortured Poets Department, she kind of hints that his depression is what led to their split. But look,
As opposed to cheating.
right.
Okay.
So he said, in thinking on what I was going to say, I would think and hope that everyone and anyone can empathize. This isn't a direct answer to your question, but just thinking about what I want to talk about. I would hope that anyone and everyone can empathize and understand the difficulties that come with the end of a long, loving, fully committed relationship of over 6.5 years. So he's hoping people can relate and like sympathize with the breakup.
How were they not?
Oh, they were trashing him.
But only because of these nebulous allegations of cheating, right? Or what was the?
Yeah, and I think people were like, he didn't propose. Like, it's obviously something's wrong with him.
Okay.
Like, no, in no way was it going to be Taylor's fault for this relationship.
But that's the way it always ends with Taylor Swift's exes, correct? Like they always take the beating, right?
Yeah,
The men, I mean.
definitely. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it
Which-
seems he's kind of like, please stop beating me up.
Yeah,
Sometimes
totally.
relationships just end, and
He's
it's
over
not
the
my fault.
Swiftie
Yeah,
hate.
right. I got you.
Yeah, and I think people are kind of trolling him too because she's obviously moved on with Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
He's this like hot football stud.
And she like shows him off, whereas
Yes.
Joe Alwyn thing was very, very private. right?
Very private.
Right.
We barely ever got photos of
Right.
him. Yeah, so if you remember, they broke up in April 2023 after 6 years of dating, around the same time that she kicked off her still ongoing Eras tour. And I love that song on her new album where it's basically like if you have a broken heart, like keep doing it with a broken heart.
Oh,
And
right.
do you know which
I
song
know,
I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
I've heard
That
that one,
one's
yeah.
so good because it's an interesting throwback because when the news broke, she was on tour and the crowd is screaming more.
God, I see.
And here she's like doing it with a broken heart and still like crushing it, which I think is great advice to anybody going through a heartbreak. You just got to put all of your energy and effort to whatever is going to like be good for you in the long run.
So has he been linked with anybody since Taylor?
You know, there's been photos of him like out with some models.
Okay.
We got a video of him at the Cannes Film Festival where he was like talking with like four blonde girls, which
and we were
I
all
love.
talking about like, does he use the Taylor card to his advantage, right? I mean, that's kind
Right.
of
He doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to.
No.
What is his claim to fame prior to
He was
Taylor?
in movies.
Like an actor?
Yeah. Do you remember the movie he was with Emma Stone? Oh my gosh. It was like the lesbian one about
Clearly a
Queen
famous one.
Anne.
No idea.
That
No.
actually got nominated for an Oscar. Did it win? I don't remember if it won or not, but
So,
yeah.
so your interpretation of this quote is what? It's just simply like it's 14 months now. Please leave me alone. Like, or is this like his attempt to stay relevant? I don't.
No, I don't think he wants to be relevant, right? Like if he did when he was with Taylor Swift, he would have pushed that
advantage of it. Yeah.
totally, would put the foot on the gas for the publicity there, but he didn't.
I don't know. She seems infinitely more happy with Travis Kelce. Every time we see her and Travis together, it's
They look loving.
smooching and it's been a while now,
So you
right?
don't think it's like overkill?
No, I mean the season started in August.
She clapped back, letting him know that her success wasn't the problem. The problem was his wandering eye and his lack of respect for their relationship. She wasn't about to let him twist the narrative like that. The tea is, the confrontation got pretty heated. Voices were raised, words were exchanged. But J-Lo, she stood her ground. She let Arid know that she was done with the games, done with the excuses. She wanted real change, or else they were done for good. In the end, insiders say Arid was left shook. He knew he messed up big time. J-Lo had put it all out there, and he had no choice but to face the music. The question is, what happens now? Will Arid step up and make things right? Or is this really the end of the road for J-Rod? Chili, your guess is as good as mine. All I know is J-Lo wasn't playing around. She confronted Arid head on, and she didn't back down. She demanded the respect she deserves, and she made it clear that she wasn't about to settle for anything less.
That was about when we first saw them together, and now they're
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you think they're gonna get engaged?
I don't know. It's up to Travis, I think. Right?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Like Travis has a lot of life, you know, like and not that Taylor doesn't, but I mean it's just like Travis, like he is going 100 miles an hour. Like Taylor, it's a lot of just So I don't know. Next story here. I'm excited to talk about this. WNBA. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. They've been feuding since their days in college.
Are they actually feuding, or are they turning it up for the cameras?
That's what I was going to talk about. That it seems like now they're at least on Angel's part. It seems like there's an active attempt to use this to her advantage, because this story I'm about to say is crazy. So you'll recall the Caitlin Clark plays for the Fever now. Angel Reese plays for the Sky now. A couple weeks ago, they played together for the first time, or played against each other for the first time, and there was big drama. Caitlin Clark got fouled. Angel Reese was seen clapping. It was a big deal. Well, they played again for the second time on Sunday. And in their contest, Angel Reese smacked Caitlin Clark in the head.
I mean, she was reaching for the ball.
It was a basketball-ish play, but she
Yes.
caught more head than ball. And they went to review, and they said, yes, that's a flagrant foul. It's an upgraded foul. It's not just your common foul. So she was hit with like a flagrant. I don't know how to put that in TMZ terms, but it's a more aggressive foul. Afterward, though, is
But
where
okay, I saw the clip. In no way was that intentional. In basketball, you gotta reach up for the ball, and that's exactly what she was doing. The ball happened to be next to Caitlin Clark's head, so it wasn't like she was like getting her right in the head. She was clearly her hand was open.
the replay, we actually got sent this in the tip line. If you watch the replay, the slow motion replay,
Yeah.
you can kind of see her start while she's smacking her, bit, and then as she finishes, itch. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
could kind of see it. So who knows? I mean, like you said, it's a basketball play, and you never want to. If somebody's going up to make a basket, you always make a hard foul so they don't get the and one. You know what I mean? So you always want to try to make sure the ball leaves and you don't. So I don't know whether it had anything to do with Caitlin or just the basketball aspect of it. But I will say, after the game, Angel was talking with reporters about it, and here's where I think you start using the Caitlin Clark stuff. Like, she was like, "I'm sure we'll play this 100 times on Monday," and she said stuff like, Caitlin gets a special whistle, and just taking these digs at Caitlin. Like, the referees, in so many words, the referees help her and not us, that kind of thing.
Okay.
She said some things like the refs impacted the game greatly tonight. That and it's just things like that I think where you get that narrative that she's using Caitlin to kind of step up on the platform. Because Caitlin was asked about it after the game, and Caitlin said it's just basketball. You know what I mean? So she could have said, "I hate Angel, and it's the biggest rivalry ever." But the bottom line is these two are going to go at it for the next 10 years in WNBA. And it's
Honestly,
must-see TV every time they
It's
play.
making great headlines. This has been amazing for the WNBA.
Yes.
Like, everyone's talking. I can't even think of the last time we talked about an NBA game.
I know.
Edward, tell me when.
So look at this. So we had a shoot report, or a daily report of the numbers, and this story, I think, quintupled every other sports story yesterday. You know what I mean? It wasn't a huge day in sports. It was the U.S. Open and WNBA and a little bit of baseball, but still, I mean, it did numbers that are generally reserved for the LeBron Jameses, the Tiger Woodses, the Tom Brady stories, and so these two are just massive superstars now. And anytime, even it's just a hard foul, you know what I mean? It wasn't like she punched her in the throat and they had a brawl, And for that to do the numbers that like a LeBron James post would or a Tom Brady post would, it says a lot, man. People really are into this, and I am too.
Do you think that people are also into it because it's kind of like race baiting a little bit? Like, it's a black girl versus a white girl.
Yeah.
I hate that so much because I want to see them getting along, like unity, like bringing the country together, which sounds like ridiculous because it's WNBA. But like, I almost hate to see, number one, women feuding, right? Because it makes us look like we're catty. We'll fight about anything. We'll complain about anything. But then also you got like a white girl versus a black girl. Like that also, I'm like, no, you guys, like be the poster child for like unity in the WNBA. But then at the same time, like they're getting headlines.
I don't think for the two of them, it has nothing to do with it. But a lot of people on social media and a lot of people who want clicks and headlines kind of make into that. Yes. But the two of them, they've known each other forever. And I don't think there's any of that between the two of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good stuff. I watching these two play is, like I said, you have to watch
Have you been to a WNBA game?
Never in my life, but like
I kind of want to go.
I low-key almost went to the Caitlin Clark one when they played the Sparks here. Like, I'm 35 years old. Like, I've been to every sporting event ever. And I was like, let me go. So it's.
I feel like we should go, like the TMZ
Yeah.
group. That'd be so fun.
Absolutely.
All right, and to my favorite segments, Today in History. So today is Monday, June 17th. Edward, I know you've heard Harvey's live shots this morning. Do you know what today is? Or what happened on this day in 1994?
I'm assuming related to J-Lo?
No.
Oh, okay, that was all the
No.
live shots.
Different live shot.
Okay.
So on this day in 1994, football hero O.J. Simpson was charged with the murders of his ex-wife,
That was
Nicole
today?
Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ronald Goldman. And then basically, remember, after that sensational trial, he was acquitted the following year. But today also was the speed chase of him in the Bronco taking off. Remember, he had like a passport on him, bunch of money. Wow, such an iconic pop culture history moment.
That is. Usually I make fun of your Today in History, but that's
a big
that's
one.
a cool day.
That's a big one.
Overall, while Jennifer Lopez is celebrated for her talents, these controversies have shaped a narrative that portrays her as a figure who navigates fame with exacting standards and occasional friction, despite her impressive career accomplishments. These incidents underscore the intricate interplay between celebrity culture and media portrayal. Jennifer Lopez contends that these characterizations are unjust and fueled by sensationalized media coverage. Nevertheless, the persistence of these stories shapes public perception, prompting reflection on the blurred boundary between a celebrity's authentic self and the persona crafted by media and public discourse. Like many public figures, the reality likely lies somewhere between Lopez's true personality and the constructed image of a demanding diva. Her public persona has been influenced by incidents suggesting she expects and possibly demands a high level of treatment and perfection, exemplified by her comments on fellow A-list actresses like Gwyneth Paltrow, Winona Ryder, and Cameron Diaz. These remarks reveal a critical and competitive nature within Hollywood's competitive environment. While interpreted by some as honesty or straightforwardness, they have also been viewed as indicative of a superiority complex or dismissiveness toward peers. Certain events have also raised questions about Lopez's authenticity, such as the 2011 Fiat commercial controversy, where she reportedly used a stand-in for a shoot intended to highlight her Bronx roots while she remained in Los Angeles. This decision contradicted the ad's narrative and drew criticism, casting doubt on her sincerity and connection to her roots. Moreover, Lopez's meticulous attention to appearance and comfort has been highlighted through what some perceive as extravagant demands. For instance, she reportedly hired a stylist specifically to maintain her appearance during the filming of her music video Jenny from the Block. And her detailed requests during hotel stays, such as at London's Dorchester Hotel, have been noted. Reports of her interactions with service staff, where she allegedly communicates through assistants rather than directly engaging, contribute to the narrative of her being out of touch and overly indulgent. While some of these stories may be exaggerated or misrepresented, collectively they shape a public image of Jennifer Lopez that contrasts with the relatable, down-to-earth persona many celebrities strive to portray. This complex portrayal presents challenges not only for her public relations team, but also for how her fans perceive her both as a person and as an artist. The numerous allegations surrounding Jennifer Lopez present a nuanced and often unfavorable portrayal of her conduct and interactions behind the scenes. Reports range from her purported demands on set to the way she handles personal relationships and staff interactions, contributing to a broader narrative of a challenging and demanding celebrity. One notable incident at a German hotel involving a maid, if accurate, underscores a troubling disregard for service sector individuals, solidifying her reputation as someone who prioritizes her own comfort and image over basic courtesy. Accounts from Rosie Perez during their time on In Living Color suggest that Lopez's demanding nature extends beyond logistical arrangements to impact personal relationships and work environments, potentially creating discord and professional tension. Her expectations at events like the 2010 World Music Awards exemplify the stereotype of a diva expecting extravagant levels of accommodation, including custom-fitted speedboats and exclusive hotel amenities. While these demands may ensure her comfort, they appear extravagant to many observers, prompting astonishment at the lengths taken to secure her satisfaction. Reports of stringent rules regarding time and public appearances in her relationship with Alex Rodriguez suggest a controlling aspect that mirrors her alleged demeanor in professional settings. The consistency of these reports across different contexts raises questions about whether they reflect her true character